Welcome back everyone to my channel Chemistry Made Simple for NEET. I am Dr. Subramaniam with a PhD in Chemistry. In today's session, we are going to do a quick revision on Redox reaction, Unit 8, Class 11 NCERT. So, I would just like to mention one thing here that students often find organic chemistry as the most difficult section in chemistry. Most of the students often ignore organic chemistry thinking that it would be difficult to study. Though the fact that chemistry is a difficult subject remains true, you can make the most out of it if you understand and study the concepts. Chemistry can be studied at ease if you know the actual technique of studying it. So, always whenever you study chemistry, you divide chemistry into organic, inorganic and physical chemistry. And then what you should do is you identify the chapters belonging to each of these sections. Then make short notes on each concept and maintain a separate notebook for reactions. Also go deep into reaction mechanisms while studying organic chemistry. Relate and study. Chapters such as chemical bonding and coordination chemistry can be linked and studied. Chapters such as states of matter from chemistry and kinetic theory from physics also can be correlated. So, we will move on to today's session, redox reaction, and I would like to just introduce the topic to all of you. You know, chemistry deals with variety of matter and change of one matter into another. And when this matter undergoes transformation from one kind into another, it occurs through various reactions. One important category of such reaction is redox reaction. These reactions find extensive use in pharmaceutical, biological, metallurgical, agricultural and industrial areas. Of late, environmental issues like hydrogen economy, that is use of hydrogen, liquid hydrogen as fuel, and development of ozone hole have started figuring under redox phenomena. Now, you can just see here some common oxidation reduction reactions here. So, many oxidation reduction reactions we discuss in this topic fall into simple kinds like combination reactions, decomposition reaction, then displacement reactions, combustion reactions. You all should be very familiar with all these types of reactions. And what is combination reaction? Just it's a reaction in which two or more substances combine to form a single product. Just remember, all combination reactions are oxidation, it won't be oxidation reduction reactions. Then we have learnt about decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, combustion reactions and all that. Here our main learning objectives will be to define oxidation and reduction reactions and explain oxidation and reduction reactions with examples and express different types of redox reactions. We will do it one by one. First of all, we will see an example of oxidation reduction reaction. We will look at what happens if you dip an iron nail into blue copper sulphate solution. You can see that the nail becomes coated with a reddish brown tinge of metallic copper. Now you can see the equation for this reaction: iron plus copper sulphate aqueous solution, you get iron sulphate and copper. Now you can understand from this equation that you get net ionic equation which shows that iron metal is reacting with copper ion to form iron and copper metal. And it's given here iron and Cu2 plus, U2 plus, you can see that it becomes copper metal, whereas iron becomes Fe2 plus ion. So here you can clearly see that electron transfer happens with respect to redox reaction. Now, how can you define oxidation? Oxidation can be any one of these four. First, it can be addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen, and it can be loss of electrons or increase in oxidation number. So, just remember these 4 points about oxidation. Now, next point is we were talking about the reduction regarding iron, sulphate, copper and all that, and here you can see that iron oxide, when it loses oxygen, then ion gains electrons. You can see that Fe3 plus it loses, or it becomes Fe, just iron, that is it loses oxygen, iron oxide loses oxygen, and oxidation of number of iron 3, it is reduced from, you can see here, plus 3 to 0. And here in this particular reaction, carbon monoxide is a reducing agent. You can see that Fe2O3 plus carbon monoxide, you get iron and carbon dioxide, and Fe3 plus, it becomes Fe iron, and that is because the oxidation number of iron gets reduced from plus 3 to 0. Now you can see the half reactions of the following which we saw just now. Fe0 becomes Fe2 plus 2 electrons, that is oxidation part. Then copper 2 plus 2 electrons because it reduces to copper metal. And what is oxidation reaction? Oxidation is that part of the half reaction where there is loss of electrons by species. So because it is losing electrons, it is forming a positive ion. When it gains electrons, it forms metal state or negative ion. And reduction is the half reaction where there is gain of electrons by a species. Oxidation involves loss of electrons, and reduction involves gain of electrons. So hope you understood both the differences between oxidation and reduction reactions. Now next you can see another equation here. Cu plus AgNO3 gives the product copper nitrate plus silver. And now what a combustion reaction? Combustion reaction, that is a reaction in which when a substance reacts with oxygen with release of heat to produce a flame. Here methane reacts with oxygen to give carbon dioxide and water. And from the previous page, this is the continuation of, we were talking about the different types of reaction. We said about combination reaction, then now decomposition reaction. And here what happens is that a decomposition reaction, in that type of reactions, a single compound will react to form two or more substances, CHGO. Oxygen, oxidation state is always -2, and here for mercury it is +2 because the total numbers when you add it up should be 0. So you get Hg and oxygen, so both are 0, and then two substances are formed here. And here combination reaction when sodium and chlorine combines to form sodium chloride. And then displacement reaction, that is another kind of reaction in which element reacts with compound and displacing an element from it. And we saw the examples over here. Element reacts with a compound, see Cu reacts with AgNO3 and it displaces another element from this. Ag is separated here and Cu will combine with NO3. And just a mix up of pages, so you just go to the next page, and then after finishing those pages come back to the previous pages. We were talking about the redox reaction at the beginning of this session. Now you know that acid base reaction, what are they? They are just proton transfer reactions, and that class of reactions are called redox reaction, and they are considered as electron transfer reactions. So already as I mentioned, redox reactions are very important in the world we are living, and they include combustion of fossil fuels to the action of household bleach. So many reactions come under this category. Why we are using the term redox? Because chemists use this term as an abbreviation for the process of reduction and oxidation. Reduction, RED, oxidation, OX. So in the reactions where these two processes occur simultaneously, that is, they occur together, they are known as redox reaction. Now we already said that redox reactions include burning, rusting, respiration and all that, and initially chemists didn't have that much of idea about these reactions, and then why the reactions, what is happening by the reaction of oxygen, hydrogen and all that. Now we have a fair idea of redox reaction, and it is extended to include all electron transfer process. And one important feature of electron transfer redox reaction is that the energy of the chemical reaction, it is released as electrical energy, and we can use it to produce electricity. And this is what happens in dry cells of small torch and all that, and then in button cell, hearing aid and in the battery of a moving car. And next is reduction. You know what is reduction? Reduction can be either any one of the following, that is addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen, gain of electrons, or decrease in oxidation number. And reduction is brought about by reducing agents. Like you can see one example, carbon monoxide is acting as a reducing agent here. Iron oxide reacts with carbon monoxide, we get iron and carbon dioxide. Remember this reaction. And now oxidation is brought about by caused by oxidizing agent. Example is given here. So here what happens, iron oxide reacts with oxygen to form iron 3 oxide. You see here it is iron 2 oxide FeO, whereas in the product side we get iron 3 oxide Fe2O3. And why this is an oxidation reaction? Because iron oxide is gaining oxygen. Either it can be that, or iron 2 ion, it loses an electron, that is Fe2 plus, loses electron to form Fe3 plus. Or the oxidation number of iron 2 is increased from plus 2 to plus 3. Here oxygen is the oxidizing agent. So remember the whole concept, and so many points are included over here. Just give it repeated readings. Now, how can you describe oxidation reduction reaction? We use special terminology to describe oxidation reduction reaction. Now, we look at this particular reaction of iron with copper sulphate. Now, the next ionic equation is given like Fe plus Cu2 plus giving Fe2 plus plus Cu copper metal. Now, you can, if you watch carefully, you can see that iron oxidation state is increasing from 0 to plus 2. So, because it is increasing, it is oxidation, and whereas copper Cu2 plus gets reduced to 0. So, that part is the reduction part. Now, we write this reaction in terms of two half reaction. As I already said, half reaction is one of the two parts of oxidation reduction reaction. One involves loss of electrons and another involves gain of electrons. I have included different colors for the explanation, so that when you glance over it quickly, you will be able to remember the important definitions. Now, what is oxidation? We already learned substance is oxidized if any one of the following happens: if it gains oxygen, or it loses hydrogen, or it loses electrons, or increases its oxidation state. So, we came across many examples for all this before. Now, what is oxidation? Loss of electron means oxidation reactions, it takes place even if there is no oxygen or hydrogen present. Remember, this is an important point. It can happen, that is when a substance loses electrons while a reaction is going on, we say that it is oxidized. Mg plus Cl2 give you MgCl2. Now, we can see that how electrons are lost in this reaction. Now, here you can see particular reactions over here and identify which is oxidized and which is reduced. See here PbO plus H2, we get oxygen is lost here Pb, and H2O hydrogen is gaining oxygen. Look here, that is reduction part is PbO to Pb, and oxidation part is H2 to H2O. And another example is Fe2O3 plus 3CO giving Fe plus 3CO2. Fe2O3 oxygen is lost Fe, it is reduction part. CO gains oxygen to give CO2, that is the oxidation part. Look, Mg plus Cl2 gives MgCl2, and Mg oxidation part and Cl2 is the reduction part over here. Now, you know magnesium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. Okay. So, with that short examples and short explanations, I have tried my maximum to put the concept very easy for you, and we will be doing so many MCQs from this portions, and once you finish off with the, I will be uploading the second part of this topic soon, and then I will be also giving you how to examples on how to find out the oxidation number and many tricks to solve it and all that. And as always I say, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and always remember to press the bell icon so that as soon as I post a new video, you will get the notifications immediately. With that, I am winding up the session for today. Thanks for watching my video.